is Lieutenant General Mark S. Bennett, the Military Deputy to the Assistant Secretary of the Army, Financial Management and Comptroller. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party, the playing of the national anthem, sung by Miss Di Gwynn, and the invocation delivered by Chaplain Emerson Bird.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran upon spurs singing air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Before I pray, Brigadier General McElwain has requested that we observe a moment of silence in honor of those Medal of Honor recipients whose names we see on the walls all around us in this Hall of Heroes. Let us pray. Lord God, we thank you for your presence with us in this ceremony as we celebrate Brigadier General Rebecca McElwain and her promotion to the rank of Major General. We thank you for her faithful service to the nation across several levels of leadership and around our world. We know that these responsibilities have helped shape and prepare her uniquely. And we also thank you for her family, friends, and mentors who have helped her in their own way to reach this milestone. May her husband James and their son Andrew be able to enjoy fully what they have accomplished. As you have blessed her with this special trust, now endow her with added strength and wisdom and courage to once more meet these increased expectations. And now, let us not be lords over this heritage, but good stewards, accountable to conscience as well as those over us. Then shall we be pleasing to you, valuable to our leaders, and worthy of those we lead. In your name I pray. Amen.
Please be seated, and thank you for the beautiful anthem and invocation. It is my distinct privilege to welcome you to the promotion ceremony in honor of Rebecca Bradwich McElwain. We would like to welcome special guests in attendance today, Honorable Powers, Honorable Miss Spear, Honorable Anderson, General Retired Flynn, Lieutenant General Eifler, Mr. So, close friends and family who traveled great distances to be here today. We are extremely pleased to welcome her husband, James, son, Andrew, aunt and uncle, Christine and Tunis. We thank all of our distinguished guests for attending today's ceremony, both in person and watching virtually. Thank you. At this time, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce the presiding officer for today's ceremony, the Military Deputy to the Assistant Secretary of Army Financial Management and Comptroller, Lieutenant General Mark S. Bennett.
Good afternoon. I'd normally walk around a little bit, but we've got an audience out there, so I'll stick with the microphone so that I can be sure they can hear all the remarks from myself and the others as well. But what a great week, and really it's been a great couple of weeks for the finance and comptroller community. We started at the end of January a little bit tepid, weren't sure what was going to happen. But towards the end of January, we did hear exciting news about 2 confirmations. So we're getting a 2 for this week with 2 promotions. So with the second one being on Friday, but today is all about Brigadier General Promotable Rebecca McElwain and her family. So that's what it's all about. Looking back at her career, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, and I'll inject some other, I guess, things that I have learned or known over the years about her. But I think about hard work, service, competence, as well as adventure. And you'll see what I mean when I talk about that. First, I want to give a shout out to her family that's watching remotely out there. Rebecca's father, Edwin, and her brothers Mark and Matt. James's grandfather, Jim, as well as his mother, Cecilia, and his brother, Steve, are out there, as well as a lot of other family and friends that are watching too. So thank you for joining us out here, and I hope the reception is clear and crisp with that. So she grew up in Karlsruhe, North Dakota, if I said that correctly, or close to correctly. But a lot of that, it all started there, where you see a lot of that hard work and the service aspect of it. ROTC caught her eye while she was at the University of North Dakota State. She actually saw them doing a rappelling display, and she said, let me go try that. One fall off the wall, and she got hooked. That's the adventure, and here she is still today. So part of that there, but started off in our Army Reserves as a medic. And then also joined the Minnesota National Guard for a short period. Before she came on active duty, I think they took good notes with her undergraduate degree in business administration and put her in the finance and comptroller community. So, but started off in Hawaii. You'll see some patterns here as I talk through a lot of this as well. Doing your typical company grade jobs there to include command. She then moved on to Germany. Okay, you'll see a pattern here as well. Did some more command time there. While she was there, she took another adventure into Kosovo, where she met another adventure, James, in Kosovo. So a neat story there with their family about how they met with all of that. James, if you weren't aware, a former ordnance officer, so thank you for your service too, as well as he is advising. He's a well-trained culinary expert. He is helping our veterans that want to consider coming into the culinary fields how to do that. So he's serving as a mentor for them. So thank you for doing that as well and helping them transition as we move forward here. So she then, following the time there, she went off to school in Hawaii, of course. Got her master's degree there in business administration. And then for Command and Staff College, went to the Australian Command and General Staff College. So another adventure there with the family. Pretty unique experience and exposure there. And then went to Army Central Command, where she was in charge of 17 security cooperation offices. And for those that don't know, that's a crazy mix of fiscal law authorities and funding that none of them are all are the same. So it's a lot of work, a lot of coordination across commands with other nations to help that all happen. So she really used her time working with our partner nations to help leverage that capability that she provided there. She then became the Assistant Comptroller G8 at the 25th Infantry Division, where General Flynn, thank you for coming today. I will share a story I shared with the family on this. My boss, when I was at First Corps up at Joint Base Lewis McChord, he wanted 2 officers in the same place every staff meeting. The first was the lawyer over to his right. The second was his comptroller immediately to his left rear. So I sat there, which meant I couldn't sleep in the meetings. So sorry, but that's just the way it was for me. But we had a meeting with 25th ID, and sure enough, Rebecca was sitting in the same spot that I was. My boss, of course, jumped right on and said, "Hey, that's where I like my comptroller." General Flynn correctly responded, "Roger, I'm a learning organization." So, but a unique, fun story there about her time as a 25th Infantry Division G8. She did her fellowship at the, I got to get this right, the Near East South Asia Center for Strategic Studies. Again, taking some of that time, what she learned there in Asia, with her tours there in Australia and otherwise, to also expand. That's also a very unique adventure type experience, not a typical senior service college type experience. Then she comes into the next big adventure, the executive officer to the military deputy to the FM&C. Those of you that remember Thomas Horlander know how challenging that could have been. But Thomas, good friend, but yeah, definitely earned your stripes in that one. That's for darn sure. Then took another adventure off to airborne school as a full colonel in our Army. So I'll admit I've only seen a few people do that, even volunteer to consider doing that. So, but hats off to her for that adventure, where she then served as the 18th Airborne Corps G8. Superb job there as well. Then we brought her back to Army Central Command. A lot of focus there on multiple theaters. We had 2 theaters of war at the time, as you all know, in both Iraq and Afghanistan, as things have kind of evolved. But there's a lot of other smaller pockets of things that happened there too. So pretty active time for her, and managing all of that, and a lot of flights back and forth to Kuwait, to Doha, other places I'm sure as well. So then we brought her back into the building, where she served as the Director of Operations and Support, as well as our Chief of our Congressional Budget Liaison, our first General Officer in that role, which is a good thing for our Army and helping us get the message out there. And now as the Director of the Army Budget and the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Financial Management Comptroller. So what I think you've seen there, again, that hard work, that service aptitude, competence, and then the adventure piece to it, because being the dab can be a little adventurous too. As my son always did joke, it's not just the dab with that. It's a pretty big role, and probably one of the most busy and heavily engaged staff officers in our Army in this headquarters, because it's all about resourcing up here, whether that's people, dollars, facilities, or a capability. It's all about getting that resourcing while we're trying to simultaneously take care of our soldiers, civilians, and their families. A very simple kind of mission statement with that, but it's a lot, and she's doing it, and I know she will continue to do it exceptionally well. The last piece I'll share with you is one piece of adventure that they still continue to this day, is that of travel. She's logged over 114 countries so far, to include 67 of them with her family that are here today. So to James and Andrew, I know that'll continue. I know you just came back from one over the holidays too. So, and also that piece of adventure there that continues with her, which I think helps make her unique in what her role is on behalf of our Army. So let's get this show on the road and get somebody promoted here today and move on.
At this time, I invite James and Andrew to join, invite General McElwain, James, and Andrew to join Lieutenant General Bennett on stage. Sir, shall we publish? Yes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated as the official promotion orders are read and the promotion takes place. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Rebecca B. McElwain. In view of these qualities and her demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, she is therefore authorized and directed to wear the uniform and 2-star insignia of a Major General by the authority of the Secretary of War. At this time, Rebecca McElwain's husband and son will pin the rank of Major General on her Army uniform.
Well rehearsed.
Thank you, McElwain family. Lieutenant General Bennett will now present the promotion certificate to Major General McElwain.
Thank you. Hold that. Thank you.
Lieutenant General Bennett will now administer the oath.
I state your name.
I, Rebecca McElwain,
Having been appointed an officer in the United States Army.
having been appointed as an officer in the United States Army
In the rank of Major General.
in the rank of Major General,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. So help
Thank
me
you,
God.
sir. So great.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to introduce the Army's newest Major General, Major General Rebecca Bradwich McElwain.
It's a little bit overwhelming to be in this place, isn't it? I mean, it's a place of honor. I'm so grateful for each of you being here today. And General Bennett, eternally grateful to you as well. It's huge shoes to fill, following him as the DAB. But you know what, he's just down the hall, so that's just a doorway away. So don't worry, it's in good hands, sir, I swear. Team ABO, ASFMC, all of you, thank you so much for putting this together today. And when we look back on these photos, you know who we're going to remember, right, Lieutenant? Yeah, we're going to remember you and everything that you've done. So I appreciate you more than you know. Di, your voice, thank you. You are so incredibly talented. The fact that you've been able to do this now a few times for me, thank you. And General Eifler, I mean, do you recognize that? Thank you.
That's good. That's good.
That was his donation to the ceremony. So it's good. I mean, this is your legacy. I appreciate you sharing it with me. So I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm looking across the faces, all of our distinguished guests, people from all over. You know, I tried to do something in a conference room somewhere, and I will tell you that I didn't get a chance to do that because before we even booked a conference room, somebody had already booked this and had already planned. And so I appreciate that, the team kind of pushed that, and especially in honor of my family and just everything out there. And I think especially in this place, there's so much that can come from having this gathering. And so, wanted to send a high five to everybody out there on the net. You got all my friends and colleagues. And then, of course, we have the Bradwish, the Bozert, the McElwain clan. And so thank you for, huddling down in that cold weather, with the exception of the McElwains in California, who are completely spoiled. But everybody else, glad you're dialed in. And I'll say, Tunis and Christine, I'm so glad that you just moved down the street from us. How cool is it to have family in D.C., just right down the road? So I'm just really glad you're here. So if I could just for a minute focus all attention on my favorite humans and besties in life, because they love it when I do this. I just wanted to say, hey, Drew, super proud of you. And you bring so much joy to our life. And every day you are living life to the fullest. You're taking it by the horns, and you're doing what you are passionate about in this world. Thank you for all the joy that you bring us. We love you. And James, my battle buddy, my bestie, thank you for choosing choosing to be my person in the foxhole. And so I will tell you, I thank Army every day because he brought me, or the Army brought me, my soldier for life. And so it's awesome to be able to hunker down. And I will tell you that you change and you affect in a positive way everybody's lives that you cross paths with. So I love you. Thank you. So James and Drew, I know we talked about a big old party, and we did consider throwing something, and then I thought, why not shake this up a bit, because their social calendars are out of control anyway. So I thought, instead of this year, with all this snow, and I saw your reaction and how happy you were to see all the snow here, I thought, wow, Northern Lights, North Dakota. But then I saw their face when I said that, so then I thought, okay, Northern Lights, where could we go? And so if you grab under your seat, you have something there to prep you for a journey to see the Northern Lights someplace differently. And so we'll head over. So I know that Iceland's been on the bucket list for a while. So we've got a weekend trip. It's going to be 12 to 14-hour days. Just buckle up. The adventure is going to begin. So I'm excited to take that journey with you. You come to Iceland's cool, right? Okay, just a couple thoughts. And I'm really going to go a little bit deep here. And family, I warned you, right? I want to talk a little bit about destiny and about life's purpose. Because I often wonder, by what right does a girl from the middle of North Dakota who grew up reading books to cows in the family pasture have to be here? Why am I here so far from the pasture and in this moment? And I think to answer that question, I have to kind of take a walk through destiny, through our destiny, through the history of our nation. And I say that because in this sacred place, we have almost 3,500, right? That's about 3,464 men and one woman on the walls in here. And I think they've received the Medal of Honor, our highest military honor. And the first was awarded in 1863 to Private Parrott for actions in the American Civil War. And so I think this place is the keeper of our stories. This is one of a few, right? But this is a place of the keeper of our stories, the history of our men and women who fearlessly went forward despite risks, for those who gave it their all to defend. And, it's just to defend that fabric of our Constitution. And so as we round the bend, and this is where I'm mindful, we're rounding the bend on 250 years. And I've got Germany back there, so they're like, uh-huh. But we got 250 years as we round the bend on this. And when I look back to the legacy of our forefathers and foremothers, all of those names that are written on the walls here, I can't help but think that this legacy could have sure turned out a lot different, right? And so when I think about the very beginning, George Washington, 8 years into that Revolutionary War, he had to motivate his troops because they were downtrodden, they were tired, they were ready to quit, 8 years into this war. And so he spoke to them at the Newburgh Address, and he inspired them by talking about liberty and their rights. And he did this concept of liberty is how they pushed through, and less than 6 months later, they won, right? The Paris Treaty was signed, and it preserved our liberty as a nation. And so the independence of this nation was really sealed in that moment. But it's important to know, as I even walk through that 250 years ago, we really didn't do it alone as a nation. Standing by our side throughout that revolutionary fight, we had partners from all over Europe. And I think this military diplomacy over the last 250 years has been part of the foundation of how we've gotten where we are. Our story is a free nation. So for those military leaders that are online, hello Australia, hi Germany. Yeah, we've got a few online, and I definitely have a few in this audience. I just want to say thank you for all your partnership over the years, and your friendship too. It matters. And so I think wherever we're sitting, look left and right. Each person in here is an author of that legacy, right? Sir, you've left this incredible legacy. Sir, you're building a legacy for us. And you know, the entire finance and comptroller legacy, right? But it's a right passed down through each generation. And each generation in the U.S., we stand on the shoulders of those who came before, and then they in turn give their shoulders to those who follow. And it's something worth fighting for. In fact, it's something worth dying for if we must. And so I would say those in the walls of the Sacred Hall would attest to it is worth dying for if we must. But the legend, the legacy of our nation, it produced an entirely powerful and unique and enduring constitution that ensures our freedoms, our liberty, and truly that's what makes it so amazing. Something I just swore to, the Constitution of the United States, to defend and uphold. And so defending the rights of a nation composed of people from all walks of the earth, even the prairie of North Dakota, each with a unique journey. And so legacy, liberty, our Constitution, they provide this unparalleled freedom, this trifecta of unparalleled freedom for us. And all of this culminates why I'm here today. Why a third generation American girl from the middle of North Dakota who read books to cows stands beside you in this room as a soldier. And so this is why my destiny has crossed paths with yours. And every single person in this room, you've truly touched our lives. You've touched the lives of my family. You've touched my life personally. And I just want to thank you. I'm incredibly grateful. I appreciate that you're a part of our legacy, even here today. And so today's a celebration honoring everybody in this room, honoring everybody online. We appreciate you, and it's honoring all of us together. And so I'm just really proud to be a part of the Army, and I'm incredibly proud to serve our nation. And so thank you for being here today to do that. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Major General McElwain. Please rise for the benediction given by Chaplain Byrd, and please remain standing for the singing of the Army Song by Miss Di Gwynn. The words of the Army Song can be found on the back of your program.
And now receive the benediction. May the Lord bless and keep us. May he grant us strength and wisdom to live through celebration and times of trouble as well. May he fill us with grace equal to every need and his peace which passes all understanding. May he grant us the wisdom and the will to do justice, to love mercy, to walk humbly with him. And may he surround us with his love and lead us in the paths of everlasting life. Amen.
Hi, this is a sing-along. Congratulations. All right, ready? March along, sing our song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to congratulate Major General McElwain and her family in the receiving line at the front of the stage. She then invites you to join her for a reception located in the room directly behind us. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you.